What's going on, everybody? It's me, your boy Flash Jones, back again with another video. Yes, I know it's been a little while. We'll talk about that. With all that being said, here we go. So, as I said here a second ago, it's been a little while. Been having some issues getting a computer. So this video won't be edited. I'm probably gonna end up uploading this straight to YouTube, straight from my phone, raw, in this natural form. Um, while we're waiting on a computer, we end up buying a house and had another kid. So life's been progressing, and slowly but surely this layout has started to come to life. I'm going to give you guys a quick walk around of this. This is not going to be a long video because like I said, I won't be able to edit it and make changes to it. I'm going to show you guys what I got and where we're planning to go. So that being said, you guys, the diesel house, the diesel shop will be somewhere in this area. It will not set right here. I'll zoom you out a little bit. As I said, it will hang out somewhere in this loop area. I do have a kind of a makeshift workbench that I've put in here. It's about a foot wide, maybe foot and a half or so, by about 6 feet long. It might even be 8 feet long. I can't remember anymore. But it's I've got it screwed into the wall, so it trying to jiggle it don't move. I do have these strip lights, these Barina LED strip lights put in to give me some light down here and also over the layout. Now, showing you guys the layout, it's a little bit of a mess right now, and that's okay. In this stage where I'm at right now, I'm getting track laid, I'm getting things pulled out of totes to see what all equipment and everything that I have to kind of make plans about where I want to go next. Let me move around here a little bit. All right, so this is looking at the loop. So I was actually just standing right over there, kind of with that grape pop cases that I was standing right on the other side of the diesel house there. You guys can see I do have track laid down. This track is in. I do have all of the track that's laid with curves, super elevated. Yeah, as you can see, I did use the tape method there. More on that in a later video. But I do have all the curves laid, at least on this end of the loop. This layout will be a quadruple main layout. This layout is not intended to be a switching layout. This layout is intended to be more of a rail fanning type of layout. I don't know how much scenery is going to get done. Scenery has never really been my forte, so I'll be looking to get advice and help and assistance from those who have a mind for it, if you will. Continuing on this way, left to right, the two back tracks are essentially main 1, main 2 heading west, or rather main 1 west, main 2 east, and then you have main 3, that'll be this inside track, and main 4 also going east. So 1 to turn into 4 right here. I believe, as I was saying there, this is going to be a quadruple main. I did get some more of these. I get a pair of these Walthers double mainline crossovers. These are number 6s. These are the ones with the snap points. You guys can see that there. And that's partially why I'm waiting to get more switches in. Actually, I didn't say that. So, as you guys can see, kind of where that diesel house is over there in the midst of all the mess, there will be a couple staging loops back here. I'm thinking about putting some on the other side, which I'll show you that as well. But that may or may not work. I don't know. But it's situated. I'm going to put a couple staging loops on this end, and also in this end will be the diesel house. And in order to have access to the shop and the storage tracks, I'm going to have another number 6 coming off the main here to diverge into this area. So there'll be a loop coming off in here, or a switch coming off there, and there'll also be another switch coming where these two, where mains 1 and 2 kind of start right here. And so as soon as I get those number 6s in, because like I said, I could just get the 6s that are available now, but they're not. They just have a floating. They have a floating, switch point. No, that one doesn't want it. Anyways, that switch needs some attention. But essentially, the old switches, you have to put something, a switch machine on them, or you have to some other form or fashion, control the points, because if not, they'll just float and you'll derail over them pretty much every time. Whereas all the new Walthers track switches, I think they bought up Shinohara. They have the spring in them, kind of like, I think Atlas, Snap, I don't know. Some manufacturers put the springs in the switches. Walthers is now doing that. That's a good thing to do. You can always opt to take that spring out, but it's good to have it. So in case you're building a yard lead, a yard ladder, you don't have to have tortoise switch machines or hand throw switches on all your switches in the yard. They'll just snap. You just got to flip them whenever you're ready to throw that track. Anyways, progressing on, I guess this will be both east and westbound depending on which direction your train is going. I do have super elevation set in, just ready, kind of staged for me to go ahead and lay the track down. I do have some track pre-soldered and ready to go down, but again, I kind of want to wait until I get the rest of my switches in so that I can have my distances right. I can have the holes pre-drilled for the tortoise switch machines, because this layout, as I just said, is going to be a railfan layout. I already have several signals. I'm getting more signals. Probably going to be the Atlas signals. Probably going to still use the RR circuits hardware. They have the new LCC system. I want to get into that because it's a standalone system, whereas everything, you don't have to have a computer every time you boot up your system. Once you've configured it and you've programmed the logic, not programmed, but you've input the logic that you want into the LCC boards, the nodes. As soon as you turn your layout on and you apply power to your CAN bus, as soon as you provide power to the LCC system, the logic, the signals, they all turn on and they work standalone, if you will. It's an integrated network that works outside the need of a computer, a jam, or a Panel Pro. Although you can use it, you don't have to use it. And that's what I want to get into. And so pretty much, if you guys can see that yellow can pretty much right there on the other side of the diesel house, the blocks will be split right there. So there'll be a handful of blocks. This obviously 1-2 blocks here where this curve is right here, another set of blocks. The control point obviously is its own 2 pairs of blocks. The control point there will be 2 sets of blocks. The blocks will also split again here pretty much before you come down, and I'll show you the rest of the layout there, but the blocks will split again here. So you have 2 more blocks right in here under the wood. You can kind of see the roadbed peeking out, and then back there the blocks will also split right there. So is that 2, 4, 6, 8 within the control points, 10, 12, 14, 16, and then 18, 20, 22, 24. I'm counting that way wrong. Sorry. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 within a control point, and then 22. There'll be 22 total blocks on this layout, and they'll all be signaled with some signals. I know a lot of people talk about when you do the tape method, not doing this ahead of time. This has been laid for about a week, give or take. Things have been pretty busy for work for me, and so there's not an issue with pre-laying your tape. As you guys can kind of see, this is some of the scrap tape that I didn't need, and you can see it just peels up. It doesn't have enough tacky stickiness to hold itself down. But if you weigh your curves down, which it might seem kind of unnecessary because there's no track down that is not being glued that needs to be weighed, but in this sense I'm using weight, just the scrap wood that I had left over from the layout. As you guys can see in the back there, I'm using the scrap wood that I have to add weight to the tops of the roadbed on top of the tape to hold down that curve on super elevation, so that when I am ready to go ahead and lay my track in, I don't have to worry about relaying all this tape, because it is kind of tedious, and you want to be kind of accurate and precise, because you don't want to high center your track. You want to super elevate the outside rail to have that lean, that banking, if you will. I'm not sure if I'm going to super elevate these back curves here, because they're very sweeping, very broad. I don't think I will. These might be the only two curves on the entire layout that will not have any super elevation, and I'm okay with that. Just to have some that doesn't have any, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I might. Anyways, we'll discuss that. This is essentially the January update, and so proceeding on down the layout, as you guys can see, yeah, like I said, it's a little bit of a mess, but that's how most layouts are in construction. I'm coming down here. I did start trying to get my holes drilled from our tortoise. I was a little bit off, as you guys can see there. So this is not soldered together as a piece. These are all kind of just placed together with insulating rail joiners in between the two tracks. Regular rail joiners here, and then insulated rail joiners there, and then insulated rail joiners at the end of the block. And then continuing on down, of course, you guys see all the beer, the pop, wine. This is the method that I've been using to secure my track down. So just laying, such you make a can train, if you will, and you weigh down your track with that, and that helps to put some normal pressure down on your track without causing it to buckle or have any issues like that, and causing any of the glue to seep up in between the ties. I feel like this is probably the best I've ever done gluing track down, because I don't think anywhere that I've seen yet on my layout is there any glue kind of seeping up between the ties. You guys can see how I kind of super elevated my track, just as I said, not even to the center of the center line of the track yet. Most of this super elevation really encompasses just maybe not even 1/8 of an inch, but just a little bit on the inside of the rail, just to raise up this outer rail. And it's that way all the way around, and it obviously comes out and straightens out and flattens out back over there. But one thing that I did notice is I obviously can't reach it now, but this has been like my test train to see if my curves are going to be too sharp. These curves here are, I want to say, 25 and 27 and a half. Ironically, these 60-foot box cars, the brown, yellow, and brown, and connected to the BN auto rack there, the only cars that have issues with any of the curves, and I don't want to say issues, but you can hear them kind of scraping up against the side of the frame of the car, are the box cars. The auto racks handle these curves like it's nothing, and it's shocking that the longer cars that typically have more issues with curves are not having the issues. It's the box cars that are, so to say, scraping a little bit more. Nevertheless, I am thinking, like as I was saying earlier, about having a couple staging loops put in back here. There may only be maybe 2, maybe 3, because I don't want it to be too tight, and I feel like it's going to start to get awfully tight if I put too many tracks in it. So I might just put 2 or maybe 3, probably just 2 here, to keep it somewhat not cluttered, and I don't want to just pack the layout full of track, because in this area in between the quad mains will be essentially a yard. This will be an automotive yard and a little bit of a junk yard as well, to store other rolling stock and whatever have you, because my goal essentially is to have all of my rolling stock, all of it, able to be on my layout at any given time on my layout. And so that's partially why I want to be able to have staging here, as well as trains stopped on the main, and then trains back in that area, either stopped yet again on the main or in staging. Nothing is wired yet. That is my next step, but I want to wait to get all the RR circuits, circuitry, and get that started, and then I'll get into my testing. Fun fact, as you guys can see, this is another mess. I'm not a big wire nut kind of person. I have some people coming out here to help me get this cleaned up and get rid of half this stuff, because I don't even know what it goes to. Nevertheless, what is it? This section here, this 4x3 panel, if you will be a drop section. As you guys can see down in here, there are some brackets I placed on the ends. Those brackets will enable me to essentially unscrew these two pieces from each other. It's kind of hard to tell because of this wood here, but I'll be able to disconnect, unscrew these pieces of wood, and this portion of that will be able to drop straight down in case I ever need to get to the electrical panel. And then at that time, obviously, I'll come in and I'll cut the roadbed and the track. I'll do that before I ever have to get to that point, so that way it's good to go. And obviously, I have all the wiring in place intact without having to cause issues with that going forward. If I ever had to get in there. So that's where we are, guys. Like I said, this is the January update. I don't want to hang on to you too long, but this is where we are. Like I said, I apologize for it looking like a mess, but most people's layouts that are not retired tend to look something like this in the building stage. When everything starts to, once all the track gets used, solder guns won't be out, paint won't be out, you know, guns won't, or drills won't be out, you know, drill bits and stuff won't be out. Nevertheless, that's where we are. That's the plan for the layout. Everything's subject to a little bit of a change modification, but I've changed this layout 4 to 5 different times in my mind. Like I said, we are waiting to get a computer, which is why we could not do the any rail, because I wanted to do an any rail kind of deal where I could really map this out and get everything nailed in. But waiting on a computer, trying to find a good one and finding it for a good price, because as I said earlier, we bought the house, got a kid. Layout trains kind of fall to the back burner, and I don't need a high powered layout or laptop, but the laptop's going to be the main laptop for the house. Last thing I will show you guys is these LED lights. Now you guys can see where where that little tape is right there. I did leave this loose because I want to put another LED strip right in here, so I did leave that a little bit of it exposed a little bit, but it's not exposed in the sense of electrically, Jesus Lord, electrically exposed. It's all using these Wago connectors, which they're very secure, awesome products, compact items, compression connectors, and I just use some tape to kind of keep the wiring together. But I want to put another one. I may yank that one out from down there and put some other lights in there and put that one here, or I might just buy another 6-pack and put some lights, because I want to put another one back in there. You guys can see I just ran the wires with everything else, and I might put another one there. I'll put a second one here, so that'd be 2 extra lights. I might put a third one just in general right across here. I'm gonna fan out a little bit, put a third one right across in here somewhere just to add a little more lighting. And then I do need to put, I didn't even mention this one yet. So in addition to everything that you guys just seen, you guys probably wondering, this is a lot of extra space that's just used for nothing. Obviously, a lot of my layout for these inner tracks that are next to the aisle, they're very close to the aisle. So if we ever derail, you're going to the ground. So I'll have some fascia up and have a little bit of a lip, if you will, just to be up to protect and try to aid things going to the ground. But I will have possibly 2 sets of switches coming off right in here, and they're going to both travel and come this way. I may have to put in one and have them split and diverge right in here. But in this area, it's about maybe a foot to a foot and a half, closer to 2 feet from this, essentially where this corner starts, this pipe to the wall. And it's going to be about 6 feet long. And this is going to be my passenger yard, an area where my Amtrak, my Metra, any of the cross-country style commuter trains or passenger trains will be here. Maybe some additional things I may have, some locomotives stored here as well. I do plan to put in a programming track either here or on the workbench, but I may put it here just because it's be a good flat area to put something in and to have it there. But that's essentially the layout as we stand here in January, guys. So like I said, I apologize that I'm not able to edit this video. I hope that everything came out clear and understandable. But this is where we are. this is where we are, and this is how we're going to continue to push on with this layout. No timetable really is set on completion, but I do want to be able to get at least a portion of this layout powered, because I do have some locomotives inbound, and I was able to get the wife to allow me to get 6 locomotives this year. I haven't bought locomotives in quite a while. I've had pretty much the same roster for some time, and I got 6 motors that I want to get in, and I need to have a way to test them and see what's going on with them to make sure that they're running good and at least work properly. So that's the layout, guys, and like I said, I apologize for the mess, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Again, you guys in your videos, you guys running trains on you guys' layouts has been one of the things that's been able to keep me sane in this time that I've been without my layout and having the ability to run trains on my own. I love it, guys. I mean, I'm excited for my own deal, but in a way I'm jealous for everyone else, but in a very good way. It's warming to see everyone else's layouts come together, running trains, and you guys being excited and happy with your own layouts. It's awesome to see. So that's been my motivation to help push me to get further on. Obviously it's winter time, so it's layout time, but I love it, and I don't want to babble on, but you guys, please continue to run you guys' trains, run your layouts, and have fun. It's your railroad. You run it the way you want it to. Until next time, folks, I will catch you on the next one. It's your boy Flash Jones, and I'll see you later. Peace.